first of all, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah. Start again, because of my throat. Right, go and go.
Did you grow up in Suffolk? Where did you grow up? Where were you born?
Yeah, I grew up in Suffolk. I'm from Felixstowe. I've lived there all my life. Born in Ipswich, obviously, hospital. But yeah, I'm a Suffolk girl, lady.
What are the biggest criminal cases in Suffolk that you remember?
Oh, obviously the Steve Wright one, which was quite a big story, and also the heist, the Eddie Maher one in Felixstowe. That was a very big, yeah. That was about it, really. I can't remember what. Two, yeah.
Yeah, there's not really a lot of big cases in
No, they're probably the two, and it's quite funny that Steve Wright is from Felixstowe as well, so that's another.
Felixstowe is where all the crime is.
It's where it's all at, yep.
What is your personal favourite criminal case you've read or heard about? It doesn't mean you like it, just can be the most interesting for you in terms of certain details or personal connections, for example.
Definitely the Eddie Maher, definitely the security, the one in Felixstowe definitely stands out, yeah. That was probably my favourite, yeah.
Why do you think that's your favourite?
I think it's because, obviously, it's anti-establishment. I think that's the part of it, probably, because obviously it was stealing from a bank, which, is quite a... They charge a lot, so in terms it was quite a... I know it sounds wrong, but, a lot of people, I thought it was quite cool, really. And he was really clever, so, yeah. There's that, yeah.
That's good. That's a good answer. How long has it been since you talked about the Eddie Maher case to someone?
Oh, God, not long.
Apart from me.
Probably, I do often, it does come up because obviously there was a big one in London recently with the diamonds. So that came up, and obviously the discussion became to the one in Felixstowe, and so probably about a month ago, maybe even less than that. Yeah, it often does come up in conversations because, like you say, it was a really big story, and Felixstowe, such a sleepy town, you never have anything happen. So yeah, it's quite well thought. Yeah,
that's a good answer again. I'm not lying. That's really good. Probably going to be really good for my documentary. So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, if you basically, it's good just to get your personal opinion, and if they reflect what the public thinks,
yeah,
it's even better.
Definitely, so, yeah. I like talking about it.
Yeah. When and where did you first hear about the Eddie Maher theft? What were your initial thoughts about it?
Oh, I remember as the day it happened, because it was such, obviously, a small town, and if anything happens, it's like a ripple effect. The whole place knows all about it. And I remember going into town and it being all taped off, and the police were all there, and then obviously front page news, it had happened. I remember going down where it was actually found, and see the police had cornered it all off, so it was quite exciting, really, yeah, in a bad way. Yeah.
Did you know of Eddie Maher or any of them?
No, I didn't. Obviously, I've always seen the vans coming and going to the different parts of the town, but I didn't know him personally. Obviously,
yeah. He was from Essex.
Yeah. I had no connection with him whatsoever, but yeah, I've not really recalled seeing him anywhere. So yeah.
He doesn't exactly have a standout face.
No, he's very sort of blends in. I think it's probably how he done it so well, really. Yes.
What did you think of the public opinion surrounding Maher before, after, and while you're reporting on them? I don't know why I had that question there. Before, after, and while you were hearing about reports of him?
Well, obviously, it was it's a hard one because obviously it's the Robin Hood effect, isn't it, everyone? Because it's against, once again, what I said, against the establishment. Everyone sort of tends to, you know, sway towards him, really. And obviously I know it was wrong what he did, but it's still, as I said about the bank, you know, people look at him as like a hero, really, don't they? But he's not really, because if you think about it, he stole from the bank, didn't he? And it wasn't his, so basically he has done wrong, really, hasn't he? So, but it didn't stop the people of Felixstowe. I think no one was hard on him, if you know what I mean. It's a really hard question, really. Yeah, definitely, it's a hard one to answer, really. So yeah,
because it's sort of like you think it's good on him.
Yeah, definitely, because way back in the day, I mean, obviously it's different now. If you were to go overdrawn on your bank, they would charge you £30, and that's quite a lot of money. And say if you didn't have enough money, if you know what I mean, if you were on a minimum wage and you went over, £30 was a lot of money, and 20 years ago it was even more. So £30, I can't remember, give or take a few pound. And that was quite a lot. So I know it was all sort of brewing. Everyone was obviously angry at the banks, things like that, the cuts and everything. And yeah, so that was the reason why everyone, I think, was so, didn't really, he wasn't looked of as a criminal, more of a hero. I know it sounds really stupid, but yeah.
And do you think like the economic state of Britain probably affected the view? Definitely,
yeah, definitely. That's what I was going to say. Yeah, definitely, because it was all pretty bad, wasn't it, around that time? So yeah, definitely, yeah.
Was it when John made?
Yeah, and it was all the poll tax, and everyone was quite anti-establishment, as I keep saying. It's probably one of my favourite words. Anti-establishmentarianism. So yeah, that was definitely giving birth. I remember it well because that was just after I'd given birth to my first child, so I can remember that well that year. So yeah, it was pretty, the 80s, early 90s, the 90s, should I say, was I can't really remember much. Yeah.
What are the most common nicknames or identities you heard peers associating with Maher? For example, Robin Hood, Fast Eddie, or any other names?
Oh, Fast Eddie, yeah. Ready Eddie. There was so many different ones. But obviously the one what you said stuck, definitely. Yeah. I can remember in front of the newspapers, all sorts of different ones. But they're the ones I can remember. Yeah, the ones that stuck out. But I can't remember any others now.
Fast Eddie was a term that stuck.
Yeah.
For a few decades.
Definitely. If you were to say that to somebody in Felixstowe, Fast Eddie, they would know straight away that was who you're talking about, because he was notorious in Felixstowe, obviously, because, like we say, there's nothing gone on. So, a lot of people would recall him if you said that. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Well, you sort of described this already, but what sort of stance did you take towards the case? Did you have a strong reaction for or against Maher? What was your opinion about him mixed? Were you neutral about the case?
I was for him, really, I think, definitely. I've got a little rebel inside of me. Obviously, I'd never do it, and it's wrong, but it's like I say, it's a Robin Hood effect, isn't it? It's a hard one. When you look at it, you think, yeah, that's really good, I'm going to take all that money, but you don't realise you're actually taking from the government and the banks, and in turn you're taking that money, so that's going to make them charge more for their services, isn't it? So really you're making it worse for everybody else, really. But I'm sorry, yeah, I'm really bad, aren't I? But I was for him, really.
Well, it's sort of like you're putting yourself in his shoes.
Yeah, definitely. And it's hard, and would you, as a person, would you do it, or would you abuse your trust of your job? Or I don't think I wouldn't do it, no, but I definitely, rebel in me was for him.
Obviously there is always that nagging.
Of course there is. I think there would be with anybody, really, wouldn't there? if anybody has a job with a position of trust, isn't it? It's a, would you do it, wouldn't you? But I wouldn't, no, personally.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Obviously, there's a difference between thinking about it
And doing it. Yeah, there's a
doing
big line, isn't there? Yeah, definitely. I wouldn't do it, no.
Did you hear about when Fast Eddie pled guilty? Not guilty in court when it was in Ipswich Court, Crown Court.
What, recently?
A few years ago.
Oh, yeah, it was big, it was news, but it wasn't as big as obviously it had happened. It was pretty low key, I think, really, it was probably on the news, once or twice and in the newspaper, but it wasn't as the key, obviously the scale is what I thought it would have been, yeah. It did sweep really quickly, got his sentence, and that was it, yeah. So, yeah, it was quite low key, really, I think, for what he did, really.
Were you surprised to hear about the lifestyle Maher was living, or how he ran out of money so quickly?
Yeah, obviously in the papers, he didn't really live as lavish as what I thought he would do, really, because obviously I've seen pictures of what, where he lived, his ranches, and it couldn't have been easy for him. I know he spent the money and everyone says, he's made a million, but it must be terrible guilt inside you and the worry to think that someone's going to knock on your door and arrest you at any given time. In a way, I expect he probably was happy, really. It was over with and, and he could move on, if you know what I mean. It must have been big looming doom over him. I don't think he lived that a lavish style. It looked like he was quite secluded and cut off really from the world. So yeah. So
did you hear about how Eddie Maher used the alias Stephen King?
Yeah, I saw yeah, I've seen various pieces of documents about it. And I think it was genius. I think what he done is used his brother's. He used his brother's ID, and I just thought it was really, really clever. Definitely.
It's like hiding in plain sight.
Yeah, it was really, really cleverly done. It's very, very well done. Yeah, but I mean, years ago in the 90s, there wasn't the. He wouldn't have got away with it nowadays. I think there's just so much more clever, aren't they? He wouldn't have been able to do it now. So, yeah, there's quite a lot of lax sort of, the way he got away with it, really.
Yeah, like, because of all the internet and
definitely
background
checks and he just never he wouldn't have got past the passport patrol, I don't think, had he have been nowadays. So yeah,
'cause that was pre 9/11, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it's quite easy, and the airports were a lot more, slack, and I just don't think he would have got away with it now. So yes.
How much of a share do you think Maher took from the 1.17 million theft? Do you believe Maher when he says he only took a share of 125,000?
No, I don't believe him. I think he took the lot. I really do. I think that's just to get off a lighter sentence. He said that. I don't believe it at all. It for what he did and for what he put on the line, he must have got more than that. For how he, live. You wouldn't be able to go away and live in America and live all that, with no work for that long, and it just wouldn't have lasted. It wouldn't have lasted, so.
Well, he did get a job in 1998.
Oh, did he get a job? Yeah.
Yeah, after his third son was born.
Ah, didn't know that, but yeah. So I don't believe that.
Debbie said that he got 200,000, so he originally said he only took 40,000.
Okay, so it's just, yeah. No, I don't believe him. I honestly think that he took the lot, I really do. Maybe a give and take a few thousand for, various other people he paid, but definitely not. No, I don't believe that whatsoever, no.
Do you personally believe the media had an effect on the result of the case? On a larger level, do you think the media has an impact on many or perhaps all publicised criminal cases?
Well, definitely the media does. I mean, it all depends. Yeah, nowadays, you're guilty until proved innocent, aren't you, nowadays? Media do portray, it's quite hard, I can't explain it, the media do have a very large
bias.
that's the one on certain people and certain jobs, etc. Yeah, and cases, and obviously what they've actually done, the crime. And I think, to me, they were quite excited about the what he'd done. Really, it sort of excited a lot of people. So yeah, and the media went crazy. So yeah, it does.
Yeah, it was the opportunity to get big sales.
Exactly, yeah, revenue, yeah, and the newspaper. And I remember going down there and seeing it all cornered off, and the Sky News, well, not Sky, obviously it wasn't. I don't know, was it Sky? All taped off, and I mean, I'd never seen anything like that before. I never never seen a big case like that. I saw all the news stands with the big cameras. It was just everywhere was mayhem. There was just people crowded looking all around, yeah, and where the van was found was only about a 10-minute walk from where I lived, so it was quite exciting to see it all. So yeah, definitely. I sort of swayed a bit there, but
it's fine. Do you agree with the sentence given to Maher, 5 years of which he only served half, or do you wish he was given more of a punishment?
Definitely more. I think that's way too less of a sentence. I think definitely. I think he should have been tried from the old system, because they had the new system, didn't they, now? So I definitely think he got off that really lightly, yeah, definitely. And I reckon in prison he was quite a celebrity. I reckon in prison, definitely. Yeah, from what he done, yeah.
Well, he was held in Norwich for a while, and then he was held in Belmarsh in London.
Yeah.
Do you think... I don't know if he would have been so popular in London, though. Do you think they would have known
I think
about
everyone knows about it. If he's sort of in the criminal, I'm guessing he was in the know, because he wouldn't have been able to plan all that himself solely. He must have had information. He must have been... You wouldn't have been able to do what he did on your own. He's definitely had inside knowledge on, what to do and various other bits and pieces, and who you knew, if you know what I mean. So I definitely think he had a big I can't even say the word. What is it? Notoriety. That's the word. Definitely think he had that.
Yeah, because he has connections to certain East End criminals.
Yeah, exactly. See, so I wouldn't be surprised if he hadn't have been, doing previous jobs before in the when he was younger. Definitely, yeah, I wouldn't put it past him.
Do you think that he was deliberately doing a security guard job?
Definitely.
To do the theft? Definitely,
because years ago, like we said, you didn't have a background check, you didn't have anything. So like I said to you, I definitely most certainly think that he had done it before. Definitely. The way he carried it out, and, the way he done it, definitely. He's definitely, I think.
Well, do you think there was months of planning?
Yeah, definitely. Months of planning. Yeah, that had been in the pipeline, I reckon, for a long time. Yeah.
Eddie Maher claims that he was forced to commit the theft by 3 criminals in his new book that has come out, on the 4th of May. Do you believe this?
Not 1%. I don't believe that whatsoever. No one could have the audacity and the cockiness and the way he done it. It was just completely... That was someone who was in control, he had the whole lot, I think, bar a few thousand, definitely. I don't believe that one bit. 1% believe that at all. Yeah, definitely.
He appeared on ITV saying that they threatened his family.
Again, I don't believe that whatsoever. Not one. No, definitely. He kept all that money. If not, it was too much on the line. He had so much. He had all his pension. He had all. You would not do that unless there was a big stake in that for yourself. You would not put all your family, your life, your children, your wife. You just wouldn't do it. You wouldn't. No, there's definitely. I don't believe it. Definitely got the whole lot. Definite.
Oh, did you see that there was news about Twitter attacking the interviewer for being harsh on Eddie during the interview?
See, that's what I said. It's just everyone's for him. What he's done, but like you say, it's the Robin Hood effect, isn't it? Everyone's, but he's not robbing he's not feeding the poor, is he? He's feeding himself. So, I don't think they should have. I think he was too right to, be harsh with him. What he done was wrong. It was a criminal. He stole from the bank, didn't he? Potentially, like I said to you, making a lot of other people more bank charges because they have to recuperate that money, what he's stolen. So, yeah.
So you sort of thought it was good on him, but
I thought it was to start with. I thought it was good, and I still do now. It's really bad, isn't it? But also, I do understand, and I do see that it wasn't. It was bad, and I wouldn't do it if you know what I mean. But yeah.
Oh god, this is a long question. What are your thoughts on the expectations versus reality of crimes that involve theft of money, like heists, robberies, and such? Do you think they're sensationalised too often in visual media, like films, shows, etc., or do you think it's just harmless entertainment?
Oh, that's a hard one. Yeah, I do think it. I think they're glamour. Yeah, they are made better than they. I don't think they should. I don't agree with them. I think it's robbing people's. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't agree with it whatsoever, and I think they are glamorised, and like you say, with the heist, and but they're very clever though. What they are. And I mean, nowadays you even get the GTA, don't you? The all the computer games, they make them a bit more as well, don't they? Because they, I definitely don't agree with them. So they are over glamorised, definitely.
Do you think it? Do you think it actually affects how people think about?
Portray them, what they think about, whether they're good or bad. Yeah, definitely. They probably definitely make people think that they're normal. They normalise them, don't they, a little bit more, so they're not so... so people don't see them worse than someone going and robbing a pensioner, if you know what I mean. Robbing an old lady's handbag. Now, that's bad, but they potentially think because it's from an establishment, then it's okay. So, yeah.
So you have sort of mixed.
Yeah, it's hard. I've sort of got mixed, so I don't know. I'm sort of 70-30 really. 70 against 34. Yeah.
Do you believe a crime is much more substantial when there's violence involved, or do you think both non-violent crimes and violent crimes can be as bad as each other depending on the circumstances?
Yeah, definitely the same.
Point it more towards you.
Sorry. Yeah. No, I think they're definitely the same, but I don't like it when there's violence involved. I really don't. It's hard. It's a really hard question, but I don't like it. I think it's worse when there's violence involved. I don't like it. So, yeah, I wouldn't have liked it so much had it have been, someone beaten up or, yeah. Definitely, I don't like violence.
And finally, if you could speak to anyone who is planning on committing a heist, a robbery or a theft, what would you say to them?
Don't do it. Definitely don't do it. Oh no. And if you do it, I want half. No, definitely. It's not worth it. It's not worth the outcome. Definitely not. It's not worth. He must have. Yeah, he had the money, but I don't think that them years. I don't think he was probably happy, not knowing that he was going to be arrested at any given time. I think it's quite. His mental health must have deteriorated. Definitely, don't do it. If you want all the nice clothes, work for it hard and get them yourself. Don't steal. That's it.